Hello and welcome to the Josh and Tyler Show. On today's exciting show, I will explain the origins of that burp and my pink shirt. Also, we're going to play a game. Tyler, how are you?
I am so glad that we have been able to do this again.
Yeah.
It has been a couple weeks, and if we do have any reoccurring fans who pop up every
Love
now
you,
and then,
reoccurring fan number one, because there's only one of you.
the short answer is work has just been fucking stressful for both of us.
Yes.
So.
All right. So, what's happening on Tyler Wolf with 2 F's for fucking fantastic? Promote time! That was an awkward voice, almost as awkward as the time I wore this shirt.
Almost as awkward as the time you impersonated Gilbert Gottfried on my channel.
Yes, that was unintentional.
Rotten Tomatoes comments. Well, I mean, either way, it worked out very nicely.
Hey, I was just very upset that people like certain movies. But what's going on your channel, Tyler? We got some games, but before that, promotion.
Okay, so promotion-wise, I'm keeping up with as many modern releases as I possibly can. I have reviews up for The Empty Man, which got just dumped out on a few weeks' notice. An above-average studio horror movie that not enough people are giving it credit for.
Fair enough.
No false alarms whatsoever. 2 or 3 jump scares throughout the 2 hours and 17 minutes. And yeah, that's the other thing. It's made by some comic book studio that I've never heard of, so I feel like Fox gave them a little more control. But considering 20th Century Fox is the opening logo of the movie, it is clear as day that Disney was not going to release this anytime soon. It was basically like the underwater movie at the beginning of the year.
Oh, with Kristen Stewart, that looked pretty decent.
Yeah, they just dumped it out, and well, I don't want to say dumped it out, but like it was made in 2018.
They made sure you didn't know it existed.
Yeah, they're gonna do that with Woman in the Window whenever that comes out.
Now, is that a sequel to The Woman in Black too?
No, it's the one where Amy Adams is a agoraphobe who thinks she sees Julianne Moore, her neighbor, get assaulted, but it turns out her neighbor is like Jennifer Jason Leigh, so it becomes really convoluted whether or not she's imagining shit. It has a really neat premise, but it was written by a novelist who turned out to be a huge copycat.
Oh, so
yeah. But yeah, I have reviews up for The Empty Man. I have reviews for the Diane Lane and Kevin Costner Western Let Him Go, which was also surprisingly really good. It made a guy from The Descendants look like a really good actor, and it's because
excellent.
Dude probably can be a good actor if his agent didn't hate him.
He should get a new agent.
An agent that
doesn't hate him specifically. Yeah. That would be the way. So today we're playing Name That Remake, or as I call it, shit Tyler says. So because he's doing most of the speaking here. So I have on my list here a multiple choice of 2 or 3. I think it's 3 or 4 options every time. One of them is a remake. Now, this could be a foreign film that has been remade as the English version. This could be vice versa. This could be a remake that's from a very long time ago. I got a few of those. This could be a remake of a silent film. If it has the same title, shares a similar plot, it is a remake, and those are the ones I have chosen today. Tyler, are you ready to play Name That Remake?
I'm just realizing you're the one being the trivia master and I'm the one answering the questions just because...
Because I suck at trivia.
Because I always kick your ass at Schmodown.
So this is why this is better. I don't have to see I just look less right.
And I look more wrong if you have already seen the Bruce Willis, Steven Seagal shit. Okay.
So, which one of these is a remake? Our category is comedy. I'm supposed to laugh at horror. Is it The Upside, Night School, or Girls Trip? And thoughts. Have you seen any of these movies? Did you like any of them on our deciding process?
I have. Well, see, I didn't want to see The Upside because that is a remake of The Untouchables, I believe is what it's called.
Ding, ding, ding! You got the answer correct, but continue.
I didn't want to see it just because, look, I got nothing against Kevin Hart trying to do something a little more dramatic. That's good for him. It's not the first time a loudmouth who wasn't really that funny gets to do something dramatic. I mean, look at Chris Tucker in Silver Linings.
That's fair.
But, like, him paired up with Bryan Cranston, I just found that to be a really weird duo, and I didn't really think there was that much potential to it.
I liked it. I thought it had some heart. I don't think I've watched it since it came out. We played it at the Princess. Let me tell you more about it. So Kevin Hart and Bryan Cranston star in the film The Upside, which tells the story of a friendship between a wealthy man with a quadriplegia and an unemployed man. The film is an actual remake of the French film Untouchables, which is actually a remake of an Argentinian and Indian film combined.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
I didn't get those names because that wasn't on the Wikipedia article.
See, that I didn't actually know about the Untouchables for that exact reason.
Fun fact. I enjoyed the Untouchables. Did you see Upside? Did you see Night School or Girls Trip at all? Tiffany Haddish was particularly funny in Girls Trip. I think that's what made it shine.
Everyone compared Tiffany Haddish in Girls Trip to Melissa McCarthy in Bridesmaids being like the big
I can see the
selling
comparison.
point.
But I think Tiffany Haddish is a lot funnier than Melissa McCarthy.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I think she's. I would love to see her host SNL or something, or do.
She probably will at some point. I mean, last thing I saw her in was Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, where she took her hair off and got a question about the Sopranos finale wrong. Like in the very final scene, they're in a diner and they're eating something, and she goes for the most Italian answer ever, which is pasta.
Oh, okay.
The correct answer was onion rings. I'm a big Sopranos fan.
I like onion rings. Tyler, do you like onion rings?
Sometimes.
Better than sweet potato fries or worse?
Better than sweet potato fries.
Controversial opinion. You heard it here first. All right. So the next one, we are in the category of classics. How well do you know your classics films, Tyler?
I know a select few.
I picked some of the major ones. So which one of these is a remake? Is it The Misfits, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, or The 7-Year Itch? One of these is a remake. Have you seen any of these movies?
No, but I'm going to go with Gentlemen Prefer Blondes.
You would be correct.
Ooh.
Yes.
That was dumb luck on that one just because it sounded familiar.
So Gentlemen Prefer Blondes is a 1950s movie starring Marilyn Monroe.
Is that not the musical where they sing about diamonds being a girl's best friend?
That is correct. So Gentlemen Prefer Blondes is a 1928 silent comedy directed by Mal St. Clair and co-written by Anita Loos. Also co-written by the Gary Oldman's character in Mank, that author who wrote. The same person who wrote.
Okay. I don't actually know how to pronounce the last name.
It's based on a 1925 novel. It was a Paramount picture, and the original silent film has been lost, and no copies are considered to exist. So
the sad reality that they just did not hold movies in high regard. They just did not hold it on the same equivalent as any other form of artwork, believe it or not.
No, I mean, for a while there was a lot of lost films for a while there. Have you seen The Misfits at all? These are all Marilyn Monroe films, by the way. Are you
I'm not versed in Marilyn Monroe. The only reason I got that was because there is that Birds of Prey scene where she's dressed as Monroe and is singing that like dubstep version.
Yeah.
That was kind of the clue in on that one. Plus, there's a James Corden sketch where why do I keep saying sketch? I don't get that.
Because I say sketch because Really Bad TV puts out sketches every week.
Right.
That's why you say that.
There's a James Corden segment where it's him, Emily Blunt, and Lin-Manuel. They were promoting Mary Poppins too. They did like a mashup of 23 different movie musicals over the course of 12 minutes, and Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend was the second last one.
See, I like it when you're good at trivia. It makes me seem like I write good questions.
Hey, it works out.
I highly recommend The Misfits. It's Clark Gable and Marilyn Monroe in this like Midwestern drama piece about two people who have like bad relationships. It's really, really well done.
Okay.
Highly underrated. And then 7-Year Itch is the one where the dress flies up on the subway.
Oh,
that's the famous scene from that one. So
see, I saw that at Angel's Diner all the time because that was the big.
That
was the picture, other than Elvis in the jail cell with the guitar.
And James Dean, I'm sure, was on the wall somewhere. James Dean is
he had to have been there somewhere.
But yes, that is the classic Marilyn Monroe category, I should say. You're doing extraordinarily well. You're points for points.
Only 2 questions.
The next one is Tom Hanks. Which one is a remake? Is it Big, Money Pit, or Turner and Hooch? First of all, are you a Tom Hanks fan? Did you check out his new movie on the Apple TV?
I haven't seen Greyhound yet, and part of it was just because it went from theaters to Apple TV. I'm not saying it would have made a ton of money anyways. And
I mean, it looked all right.
It did look okay. It lost me a little bit when he wrote the script for it, and then I heard some iffy things about it. Yeah. I am looking forward to his Paul Greengrass Western, News of the World. I saw the trailer for that when I went to see Let Him Go.
Not a Queen album.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I really like Tom Hanks.
And like he's
a nice guy.
It seems like a change of pace for him doing not just a Western, because like he did Captain Phillips with Paul Greengrass.
I really enjoyed that film.
And this movie looks a lot more steady. Like it looks like Paul Greengrass may have discovered what a tripod is. For all I know, I could be very much wrong about that. There were some shaky shots in the trailer whenever there was a gun battle, but chances are it's Paul Greengrass. He knows how to make it look decent.
I understand that shaky cam is used well in Bourne, but outside of that, I don't see a need for shaky cam. I've never seen another film that has deserved shaky cam.
I'm just looking forward to seeing Tom Hanks do something a little more of a reluctant hero type of thing. Like, he's still Tom Hanks' decent guy, but there's a little bit of his Road to Perdition character where there's...
Which is phenomenal, and a comic book movie, by the way.
Yes, it is.
It's a phenomenal film if you have not seen it.
It is really
The cinematography, I think, particularly the rain scenes, blows my mind every time I see it.
The cinematographer died before he could get his last Oscar for that one. Because he had won a couple beforehand.
He's phenomenal.
He was
whoever
great.
His name is. It's beautiful.
It's one of those names that's really tough.
I guess he plays a reluctant hero in Toy Story 1 when he has to rescue Buzz because he doesn't want to do it right away.
Kind of.
I really like him when he set up Buzz.
It's good. Woody is his most different character because there's always this level of jealousy and competition.
He plays a mobster in Johnny Dangerous. And that's Michael Keaton. Sorry. Anyway, which one's the remake?
Okay, so...
Big, Money Pit, or Turner and Hooch?
I'm gonna say Money Pit.
You are not correct this time. It's Big. Big is the 1980 film that tells the story of a boy who wished to become big, but it's similar to the Italian film De Grande, which was released a year before, which is an older film. I believe to have been inspired by that.
See, I almost said Big, but for whatever reason, it just seemed like too obvious of an answer.
But the difference here is, and some of the differences, instead of getting a job at a toy factory, he becomes a babysitter who's good with kids, popular in the same vein. So, it's his dream job. De Grande. I have not seen this film. I'm sure it's lovely. I enjoy Big. I think the piano scene is 100% iconic. James Caan is just delightful.
I won a contest at a trivia booth at my first TIFF experience with a big question because of the corn cob sequence.
Okay.
Once they said corn cob and like trying to eat a giant thing of corn, I'm just like, okay, that just seems too obvious of an answer, and I went for it, and I won.
Good for you. What did you win? Out of curiosity.
I won a chip clip, a bag of flavored popcorn that I wasn't going to eat anyways and got confiscated at the theater right away.
Oh my goodness, this is... So...
Because, like, it's Roy Thompson Hall, 1,000-seat theater. They're not going to let you bring your own food and drinks in.
You have to eat the chips before you get in. But maybe it was too big for that.
It was. It absolutely was.
You should have just given it to a stranger and been like, have some chips.
Well, there were no homeless people around.
There's not even like a guy scalping tickets who might be hungry?
I'm not fucking giving that guy anything.
So, the next one is... I guess I had a name of the actor for this, but the same actor's in all of these. Which one is a remake? The Odd Couple, Some Like It Hot, or Grumpy Old Men? Now, first of all, have you seen any of these films?
I have seen Grumpy Old Men. I know for a fact that's not a remake in any shape or form.
You have eliminated one.
I'm going to go with Some Like It Hot.
That is correct! Are you familiar with the film?
It is Marilyn Monroe, Jack Lemmon. It's basically the original man pretending to be a woman or woman pretending to be a man. It's just basically a quote-unquote gender swap movie in the vein of kids our age would know stuff like Mrs. Doubtfire or She's the Man.
Oh, that's based on Shakespeare, right?
Probably.
I think that's...
But yeah, like Some Like It Hot was one of the originals when it came down to it. It's about... And there's a little bit of sister act in there, too. A couple of singers played by Lemmon, and I don't know who else.
Walter Matthau.
Okay, that I almost said that.
These are all Walter Matthau films. That's what I just remembered. He's in all of them.
But yeah, it was a Billy Wilder comedy. The American Film Institute considers it one of the greatest comedies of all time.
You've read your Wikipedia article. Some Like It Hot, which tells the story of two men disguising themselves as female musicians, originated from the French film Fanfare d'Amour. The French film was previously adapted from a West German film in 1951, which influenced the American film since the French version has been too hard to trace this time. Other notable differences between the subplots is the musicians are on the run from gangsters. In earlier films, they were just desperate for work.
Well, of course they were. There's a little bit of bosom buddies in there, too.
Yes, indeed. That is also a Tom Hanks show. I think it lasts, 4 seasons? Not even sure.
I think
watched
it was only 2.
I watched it on TV as a kid. It was just on TV, and I was like, well, this exists.
See, my dad will probably defend Bosom Buddies because chances are he and his college roommate watched this when they weren't binging every Clint Eastwood movie from Jumbo Video.
Clint Eastwood makes some good movies. What's your favorite Clint Eastwood performance off the top of your head, Tyler?
Probably Gran Torino.
That is a phenomenal performance. Get off my lawn. All right, moving on. The next one is in comedy. We're going back to comedy. Which one of these is a remake? Is it Three Amigos, Three Men and a Baby, or Baby Geniuses?
3 Men and a Baby?
That's correct. Have you seen any of these films here?
What were the other 2?
Three Amigos and Baby Geniuses.
I am never going to step foot on Baby Geniuses ever in my life.
Baby Geniuses may be making a second appearance on today's video. What? It just happens to be a great answer to put in this. Three Men and a Baby is a remake of a French film, Trois Hommes Un Coffin. In fact, the original French director, Colin Serret, I'm mispronouncing your name, I apologize, you're probably a very talented person, was almost tapped to direct the American remake, but eventually dropped out. The idea was 3 men raising a baby. It was so popular that it inspired at least 4 Indian remakes of the film.
And it's directed by Leonard Nimoy.
That's correct.
And there's a random like cardboard cutout in the background that everyone thinks is a person spying on the baby.
That is a weird thing that is in the movie. It doesn't have... But yeah, have you seen 3 Men and a Baby or 3 Amigos?
I have not. I've seen bits of 3 Amigos.
I enjoy that movie immensely.
It's
great.
It takes 3 actors who you think would work with each other a lot more often. I mean, because Steve Martin and Martin Short, they
like
did
friends.
so much stuff together, but...
Yeah.
Chevy Chase did not do that many collaborative works.
No, Chevy Chase is hard to work with.
Just ask Joel McHale what Community
Ask anyone who's ever worked with Chevy Chase. I would say that Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd in Spies Like Us is probably his best collaborative effort. It's really funny. It's 2 guys who accidentally become spies, and they're just clumsy, and it's got a little bit of slapstick, and they help stop World War III, and it's very cheesy and over the top, but I enjoy it immensely.
You ever seen, what's that one with John Candy and Dan Aykroyd? Trouble with Harry or something?
Trouble...
I can't remember. Or Nothing But Trouble.
I don't think I've seen Nothing But Trouble.
I think that's the one where, Dan Aykroyd is that disgusting-looking judge with a dick for a nose or something, and John
You're not
Candy
talking about
plays...
movie 43, are we?
No.
Okay, good.
And John Candy plays, 2 different people, one of them a woman.
I don't think I've seen this movie. I have to look it up now.
Yeah,
Nothing But Trouble.
It's written and directed by Dan Aykroyd. It was the only directorial movie that he
Really? He didn't direct 1941? Because it seems like he would.
That was somehow directed by
Spielberg, yeah.
I don't get that.
It was a signing of 2010s to come. The next one is Tom Cruise. Which one is a remake? Cocktail, Minority Report, or Vanilla Sky?
Vanilla Sky.
How did you know that? You're really good at guessing these.
Part of it was looking it up on Wikipedia, which I'm guessing is what you did for the majority of these.
Yes. Okay. That's where the descriptions come from, but I looked up remakes. People don't know what remakes, and I went with that stuff.
Part of it was also because Penelope Cruz is in it, right?
Yes.
And I think she was in the original or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Vanilla Sky, one of Tom Cruise's most memorable performances that I have not seen. Take that note. Vanilla Sky was a remake of a Spanish film, Hebrea los Los. I butchered the name. I am sorry. I'm very sorry.
What do you expect from
Hombre
us?
Los Penelope Cruz plays the same roles in both Movies.
That's
the one.
That was the giveaway for me personally. Plus, Tom Cruise doesn't do remakes. Generally.
Mission Impossible is a remake.
Adaptation.
What is your favorite
Very
Tom Cruise role
adaptation.
to date? Singular role. It could be all of Mission Impossible. If you feel ambitious, but I really like him in The Firm. I think he does a great job of acting in that. I would have liked to see maybe another because I know A Few Good Men is sort of in that vein, but it sort of like amps up A Few Good Men in that sort of same sort of.
Well, I gotta go with Ethan Hunt just because dude has been playing him for 20-some years and is actually getting better at it.
That guy rented a cruise ship just so they could continue making Mission Impossible for the cast and crew.
Which
is insane. I love that man.
Smart move if you have the money for it.
If you want to be a Scientologist and risk your life every single time to entertain me, keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing
the
that.
Scientology thing
doing
is
that. I think that's what makes him risk his life.
But yeah, it is Ethan Hunt. If I had to pick other ones, it would either be Jack Reacher because I really like.
I like the first one. The first one's good.
Second one, like it's on TV all the time now because of COVID, and it's not as bad as I remember it to be. In fact,
that's good.
In fact, I'd say that Tom Cruise and Colby Smulders' chemistry has actually gotten better over time.
Colby Smulders is probably a really interesting bit character actor that I think in 20 years we see a lot of character pieces from her that we sort of like. She's a really great character actor.
She's really good in Never Go Back.
She's good in pretty much everything. Even
like the direction's not even as bad as I remember it to be. Who
directed the second one? Was it Greengrass?
No, okay, so Chris McQuarrie directed the first one, and that's how he ended up doing the Mission Impossible sequels. This one was made by Edward Zwick, who directed Tom Cruise in Last Samurai.
Oh, I like The Last Samurai.
So you would expect good results.
Yeah.
I think the studio just interfered because Jack Reacher, the first one, didn't do as well as they wanted it to, and they just made it kind of generic. Like, the villains are so interchangeable. Like, you have Tench from Mindhunter, and then you kill him off for no reason.
There's a villain in the movie.
You have Teabag from Prison, who kind of sort of is the main villain, even though he's the stand-around villain.
Let me get back to my main question. There's a villain in the movie. I just remember smuggling and drugs, and that's about it. I think I remember more of... what was that movie he made about smuggling drugs in an airplane that was more memorable?
See, I didn't watch American Made.
That was the one. That was... maybe, yeah. So our next category is... Sandy B. How do you feel about Sandra Bullock?
Oh boy.
Sandy B.
Let's just get this over with.
Which one is a remake? Forces of Nature, Lake House, or The Nest? I personally enjoy her in Miss Congeniality. My sister always liked that movie. I enjoyed the first one for what it was.
Could you say those one more time for me, please?
Is it Forces of Nature, The Net, or Lake House?
Lake House.
Lake House is a remake! Ding, ding, ding! We got a winner here. Get this guy a fish.
That just sounds... I mean, her and Keanu Reeves, that just sounds about right.
Lake House is a 2006 American romantic drama film directed by the guy's name I can't pronounce, starring Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock, who appeared together in the Academy Award-winning film Speed. And Christopher Plummer is in this movie. It was written by David Arburn and is a remake of the South Korean film To Mer.
Really?
Yes, it is. 2000.
I thought it was a remake of a French movie or something.
It's a remake of a... Yes. The director name is... I can't show you because I got one more on here.
Just try your best.
Alejandro Agestro?
Sounds
Agestri?
That's
really... I have not seen The Lake House, but it pops up enough in my life that I feel like I've seen the poster.
All I know is it's about two people who fall in love and are pen pals, but like they're 2 years apart. And I think it has something to do with the Lake House.
It is a remake, and it fits the Tyler Talk Shit game. That's what we're calling every game from now on. The next one is romantic comedies. How do you feel about romantic comedies? Do you feel romantic? What's your favorite romantic comedy?
Lady and the Tramp.
That totally works. Which one is a remake? Is it Sleepless in Seattle, Notting Hill, or You've Got Mail?
You've Got Mail?
You are correct.
Holy shit.
You Got Mail is a 1998 romantic comedy directed by Nora Ephron starring Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan, which is inspired.
Is everything that you mentioned in that question, are all those Nora Ephron? Because like Sleepless in Seattle, that's her.
It could be. It very well could be. I was just going with romantic comedies.
I went with that one just because You've Got Mail is the one of those that I've actually seen.
I enjoyed Sleepless in Seattle, but I don't remember much because I was young and I was a kid. I was like a 10-year-old watching Sleepless in Seattle. I'm like, this is all right.
Yeah, that was how I felt about You've Got Mail, and both of these are Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan. And You've Got Mail, it's a sitcom plot. These two people who hate each other's guts, but it turns out they have an online relationship and really like each other. This was a Drew Carey show episode. Yeah. I'm not even kidding. Like, Drew would be that, unknowingly falls in love with Mimi, but once he realizes it and knows for a fact what kind of person she is, well, we all know how that episode is going to turn out. Yes. But in the movie, it's a lot more honest about the two of them realizing that they actually have shit in common. They just need to talk to each other about it.
Yeah, it's inspired by a 1937 Hungarian play, Performere, by Michalos Lazossos, which had been adapted from which has also been adapted into a 1940 film, The Shop Around the Corner, and the 1949 Judy Garland classic, In the Good Old Summertime. It is co-written by Nora Ephron and Della Ephron.
That makes total sense.
So it's, I had no idea actually that this was adapted from In the Good Old Summertime, but then I realized In the Good Old Summertime is about people writing letters and then they hate each other, but they like each other. Yeah. All right, so the next one is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Do you feel the heat? Do you feel the muscle burn? How is my Arnold today? Do you want to pump some iron or play some soccer?
That just sounds better than I will ever do.
I don't know, you should try, because you never know. If you don't try, you might not get the muscles, you might not beat up the camera people.
Shut up, I tried.
Which one is a remake? I'm going to drop the accent now because I can hear what I'm saying.
Franz, get on with it.
You're a funny guy, Tyler. That's why I'm going to kill you last. Which one is a remake? Red Heat, Raw Deal, or True Lies? Personally, have you seen or heard of any of these films?
I know which one's the remake just because, again, like, it's the same thing with Vanilla Sky. You have a director Cameron Crowe, who mainly makes original movies and then makes one remake.
Heads up, he knows stuff, guys.
And in the vein of James Cameron, who mostly makes original stuff, I think Schwarzenegger saw the French movie that this is based off of.
Yeah, that's correct.
Showed it to James Cameron and is like, can we do this? And James is just like, yeah. And then they made True Lies.
So yeah, it's True Lies. Raw Deal is very bad. Red Heat stars the other Belushi. It's very bad.
Oh, God.
It involves Russians or something. I don't know. So True Lies is a 1994 action comedy written and directed by James Cameron. It is executive produced by Lawrence Kasdan and stars Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jamie Lee Curtis, Tom Arnold, etc. It is based on a 1991 French comedy, Le Total. The film stars U.S. government agent Harry Tasker Schwarzenegger, who struggles to balance his life as a spy and his family duties.
It has a couple of my favorite Arnold quotes, like when Jamie Lee discovers what he does for a living. It's just like, have you killed anybody? They were all bad people. And then, of course, has the best one-liner before the kill with the airplane and the missile. You're fired. And just conveniently goes right through a building, hits the helicopter, bang on. It is so fucking stupid.
It's got the bad guys pretty memorable too. They create this weird like subculture European bad guy who's pretty interesting. And Jamie Lee Curtis
was that just so they wouldn't get accused of being racist?
Probably,
because that did not work.
And Jamie Lee Curtis is really good in the film.
Yeah,
I like her very much in this. Probably one of her better roles.
I've seen Arnold and Jamie Lee Vanity Fair videos where they recap their careers, and Jamie Lee really loved doing the dance sequence during the middle of the movie. I
think it's like 25 minutes in when he's on a mission and he's in the shadows and she's trying to
Yeah, and she was talking about the character stakes combined with just how much fun it was making this scene because, she didn't have much to say about Halloween because she didn't want to be known as the final girl in a slasher.
And she did Prom Night, guys.
And she did a sitcom with Richard Lewis. You want to talk about that? You want to talk about dignity?
I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis's career has not been exactly diverse, but this is probably her most diverse role.
But the
Knives Out, phenomenal.
The best story was her talking about Knives Out. Not only her calling out Last Jedi trolls in the interview. I'm not kidding. It is so
amazing.
damn funny. But like, she talked about the process of how many actors were. She talked about some certain lingo when you receive scripts where it's just like, oh, Chris Evans is attached, and apparently when someone says attached, it's not a confirmation. It's just like they're either been given the script or they're showing interest.
Okay.
But then she talks about how Daniel Craig confirmed, Chris Evans confirmed, Michael Shannon confirmed, and she's just like, I would have been in this movie just to be in one scene with Michael Shannon, which...
Michael Shannon is... Midnight Special is highly underrated.
It absolutely
is. One of the movies that I have a lot of good things to say about.
It was really good. Like, I haven't seen it since it first came out, but...
I watched it, I don't know, about 6 months ago, and I was like, this is pretty neat. This is one of the
It's good.
One of the most unique sci-fi movies I think I've seen in quite a while.
Wasn't really a fan of Adam Driver in it, but he's not really in it.
But Adam Driver is phenomenal in Black Klansman.
Yes, he is.
Which is...
It also...
might be my favorite Spike Lee movie.
Midnight Special also has some of Joel Edgerton and Kirsten Dunst's best work.
All right, let's go on to the next one. We're going back to romantic comedies. This time, Adam Sandler.
Why do you do this to me?
Because you're amazing, Tyler. You're an amazing person, and I love to bless you with Adam Sandler movies. Which one is a remake? 50 First Dates, Blended, or just go with it? Which I have seen none of because I have personal taste.
50 First Dates.
That is incorrect. Your correct answer is just go with it.
What the fuck is this based on?
I will get... You're gonna love where Adam Sandler got the inspiration for this. Just Go With This is an American romantic comedy directed by Dennis Dugan and written by Alan Lowe.
Just one of...
Alan Lowe broke Collateral, Beauty, and The Space Between Us. I believe.
I love this already.
And Timothy Dowling, starring Adam Sandler, who co-produced the film with Jennifer Aniston, Nicole Kidman, and Brooklyn Decker. It's based upon the 1969 film...
Brooklyn Decker, that makes total sense, but Nicole Kidman?
Yeah, she's in it. It's based upon the 1969 film Cactus Flower and the 2005 Bollywood film Man Por Kunan Kaya, which itself is an adaptation of a 1965 Broadway stage play written by Abe Burrows, which turned out to be based upon the French play Fleur de la Cactus.
I thought you were going to say this was based off of the How I Met Your Mother episode.
No, it's not based upon Sleepaway Camp. I can confirm. Sleepaway Camp is better.
So it's the How I Met Your Mother episode that is literally the plot of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Just
I don't doubt it. I mean, Neil Patrick Harris is funnier any day than most Adam Sandler movies past 2001.
And that's exactly the same thing. Neil Patrick Harris, Adam Sandler.
He's a funny guy.
They all hire people to be their wife and kids.
Yeah.
With Neil Patrick Harris's case, it's just to make sure that his mother thinks that he's not alone for the rest of his life. Adam Sandler does it just because, for some reason, he doesn't want to marry Brooklyn Decker, even though... She's Brooklyn Decker. She's fine.
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know.
What she sees
People have personal lives. I don't get it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Andy Roddick is technically smarter than her, but...
Adam Sandler is a special human being at the end of the day.
Look, I saw Brooklyn Decker on Family Feud, and she was really funny in that.
That's good.
Like the perfect question where she buzzes in, name a reason you're in a hole. She goes, you're dead. And then the second one, when they come back, because everyone on her team had gotten an answer right, it's just like, Brooklyn, no strikes, name a reason you in a hole. You're a man having sex.
That is so unsubtle, it's funny. All right, moving on to just random category of movies these are dramas. I'm going to say dramas. Okay. Which one is a remake? A River Runs Through It, Tree of Life, or Meet Joe Black?
Meet Joe Black.
Okay, how did you know that?
Because Tree of Life is Terrence Malick.
Yeah.
He does everything original. What was the other one?
River Runs Through It.
That's a book.
It's a book. Yep.
That was just process of elimination on that one. All I know about Meet Joe Black is that Brad Pitt is the Angel of Death, and he plays seesaw with a couple of cars because he has no idea what a red light is, even though he's the Angel of Death.
I have not seen Meet Joe Black personally. I wish to see it, but it is not on any streaming service. When
I say seesaw, I mean like he gets hit by one car and then hit by another. It's it's on those lists of really crappy CGI that hasn't aged.
So Meet Joe Black is a 1998 American romantic fantasy film directed and produced by Martin Brest and starring Brad Pitt, Anthony Hopkins, and Claire Forlini. The screenplay is by Bo Goldum, Kevin Wade, Ron Osborne, and Jeff Reno, and is loosely based on the 1934 film Death Takes a Holiday.
That makes total sense.
I have not seen Death Takes a Holiday, but I have watched the Hogan's episode War Takes a Holiday, which that is a parody of that, where everyone thinks they convince them that the war is over so they can get two people out of the camp, and then they all celebrate, and they realize the war is still on. Yes, it's a World War II comedy. It's phenomenal. All right, moving on to horror. Tyler, what's your favorite horror movie besides A Quiet Place?
Next question.
All right, which one is a remake? Night of the Creeps, Fright Night, or The Phantom?
Fright Night.
That was a gimme. Fright Night is
That was such a gimme. I mean, come on, man.
I find this ironic. Fright Night is a 2011 horror remake directed by Craig Lipsey, produced blah, 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 blah. It's based upon the 1985 film of the same name, Fright Night.
Just swap out Chris Sarandon for Colin Farrell, which is such a better choice.
And it was written and directed by Tom Holland, the original, but not that Tom Holland.
Exactly. That's the other one I know. Like, watching Nostalgia Critic, I found out there was another Tom Holland who did Fright Night and the original Child's Play.
I did not know about that one because Child's Play...
He also did that really crappy Stephen King miniseries, The Langoliers.
Words.
Yeah, exactly.
Alrighty. The next one is Statham. Are you a fan of Jason Statham? How about that?
I do like him.
What's your favorite? Is it Lock, Stock, and Smoke and Barrel or one of those like early films, or are you like I love Transporter?
You know what? Like, I found myself rewatching clips from Hobbs and Shaw recently.
That's so much fun. It's so stupid but fun.
I like his opening one-liner where he's at the sex club or whatever it was. I don't know. Like, they in true Fast and Furious fashion, they for whatever reason get a lot of gratuitous ass shots.
Yep.
But then he walks up to the villain and it's just like, "Who the hell are you?" "I'm what you might call a champagne problem."
That's pretty good.
You think so?
Yeah, that's a pretty good Jason Statham. Can you just keep talking like Jason Statham for this?
I'm gonna try my best.
Try your very best.
I'll go very in and out.
So, Mr. Statham, which one of your movies is a remake? Crank, The Mechanic, or The Bank Job?
I'm gonna go with The Mechanic.
It's phenomenal.
It's a remake of Charles Bronson.
That's correct.
Very poor remake, if I do say so myself.
That is correct. And with that, Mr. Mechanic, Mr. Jason Statham, you have made your way through all of my remakes. Shit Tyler says is over. So, Mr. Statham,
Bloody hell, thank God.
where can we find?
See, I'm really lost.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good impression. You should hold on to that one.
Yeah, I will. Believe me, I will.
Yeah, just it just sounds right, you know.
Yeah.
So that's my fun little remake game. You got all of them but one. So I declare you.
No, there were a couple.
I give you a 3 out of 10. That's
Wait,
a joke
what?
for the. That's a Nick Mundy joke. For those who watch Monday Night Raw. But no, seriously, you did great. Check out Tyler Wolf with 2 F's for fucking fantastic. Link is in the description. He's gonna have a video up. Check out his review of Let Him Go, and there might be a video with me in it. I don't know. I might be wearing the same shirt. It might be shot on the same day, but we can never tell. This freeze frame makes me think of a watermelon.